What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing. I just finished watching Eimantas Stanionis versus Gabriel Maestre, and this was a 12-rounder in the welterweight division for the WBA regular welterweight title. And this fight was Saturday, May 4th, from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. And this fight was broadcasted on Prime Video pay-per-view. And in this fight, Eimantas Stanionis was able to get the unanimous decision victory over Gabriel Maestre. So I scored this one 116-112 in favor of Eimantas Stanionis. He improves to 15-0 now. The judges scored this bout 117-111, 118-110, and 119-109, all in favor of Stanionis. I think that 119-109 and 118-110 are a little bit wide, considering there was a good amount of rounds in there that I thought that Maestre put up a very good effort and won them. So, Maestre, like I said before, he did, I think, put up a good effort in some rounds. He now drops to 6-1-1. But just to break down this fight round by round, first three rounds actually were pretty hard to score. The first two I gave to Stanionis. I thought he was just had a bit more of the effective shots with his pressure going forward. Both of them were actually making it pretty exciting. It was a fairly fun fight to watch. Then in round number three, Maestre, I thought he had some good solid hooks. Was boxing pretty nicely, so I gave him that third round. So after three, I had a 29-28 Stanionis. Then rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7, I gave all to Eimantas Stanionis. I thought that he just was edging the rounds by going forward, landing the more effective shots. Maestre would box, kind of move around a bit, then also trade with some sort of more lesser effective shots with Stanionis. He would make it close, but he just wouldn't overall do better in the round. But they were competitive rounds, but Stanionis was just edging them, in my opinion. However, after round number 7, I thought Maestre had a very good little surge. I thought he won rounds 8, 9, and 10. Rounds 8, 9, and 10. I thought he had a good surge there. I just thought that those were more quiet rounds, that Stanionis didn't have as much of a high output. And I thought that Maestre did a very good job boxing a bit, bobbing and weaving, landing some decent combinations. So I gave him those 3 rounds right there. However, in rounds 11 and 12, those are the rounds that Maestre really should have jumped on it, tried to win this world title, but he didn't. He seemed pretty tired in those rounds. Stanionis just did more, landed a lot better shots, and overall took rounds 11 and 12, the championship rounds. And that overall is my scorecard, 116-112 for Stanionis. And this goes into question, what is next for him? He is now 15-0. He retains his WBA regular welterweight world title. He won that in April of 2022, 2 years ago, against Radzab Butayev in a hard-fought split decision. Stanionis is a very solid fighter. Before this, defeated Thomas Delorme, or before the Butayev fight, he had a no contest with Luis Goyaso. However, his last win before that was Thomas Delorme. So he has a few solid wins to his belt: Delorme, Butayev, Maestre, and his last 2 fights he looked fairly good, especially with his gas tank going all 12 rounds. And after that 2-year hiatus, he was supposed to fight Virgil Ortiz and whatnot, but he's finally back, defended his world title. And you take a look at the WBA rankings, you see Giasov, number 1 ranked contender. He won a few eliminators there. You see Errol Spence, obviously number 2, Conor Benn 3. Maestre was 4 going into this fight. I think that he could possibly fight Shakram Giasov in a sort of crossroads to zone PBC type fight. That would be very interesting. Obviously, maybe in the near future we could see him fight Jaron Ennis. Maybe even Mario Barrios, who's fighting later on this Canelo Munguia card, if he's able to get the win here in his fight. So, he has a lot of options with some of these welterweights, ranging from like PBC welterweights to the zone welterweights, whatever. I think he's got some good options. But as for Gabriel Maestre, losing here for the first time in his career, he now drops to 6-1-1. Despite losing here, I think he put up a very good effort. Really in his career, I think he should have got another loss. He fought Michael Fox about almost 3 years ago, and that was a fight that was one of the worst robberies I've ever seen. But since then, he's actually improved a lot, I might say. In that fight, he looked very flat-footed, just plodding forward, not looking too great. However, in this fight, he was actually moving, bobbing and weaving nicely, and even before this fight, he was actually able to get 2 very good wins. stopping Devin Alexander in 3 rounds, and then also brutally stopping a very young, promising prospect in Trayvon Marshall, stopping him in his home, in his hometown, or in his home state of Maryland, getting a very, very big upset win there. So, I mean, for Gabriel Maestre, he's 37 years old, but I mean, I think he does have some ties to the WBA. Obviously, Venezuelan fighter and whatnot. I think that he could possibly get another shot at like an eliminator or an interim title again. He's already fought for a version of the WBA title twice. Or if you want to count minor titles, you could count them as well. I mean, he fought for the WBA Fedebol super welterweight title in his first 2 fights. Then he fought for the WBA interim title in his 4th fight. And then he also fought for this WBA World Championship now in 2024. So he's already fought for 3 versions of WBA belts. And, I mean, we could see him possibly fight for an eliminator or something against someone else who's ranked within the top 15. Obviously, you take a look, and the WBA rankings right now kind of look weird. You see guys like Adrian Broner, Cletus Selden in there, Kona Walker. Very interesting rankings. I mean, Patty Donovan. A lot of these guys at welterweight will probably get beat by, I mean, many other guys that they don't have rated in here. I mean, I don't really know what the WBA is doing with their rankings right here, but a lot of these guys I don't think should be in there. But yeah, I guess that sums up this fight. Eimantas Stanionis defeats Gabriel Maestre by unanimous decision, improving his record to 15-0, and successfully defending his world title for the first time. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.